If you keep getting rejected at stage 1 of the online job application process and have no idea why, then watch this video, because I'm going to talk you through the secrets of the online job application system, why you're getting rejected, and how to beat the system and get invited for interview. I'm even going to be throwing in my own personal anecdote at the end, which explains to you how I ended up getting a job offer after being binned at stage 1 of the job online application process. So make sure you stick around for that, and don't forget to subscribe below to Bloom for more content like this. As you know, the job market is tougher than ever out there nowadays. There's going to be tens, hundreds, and maybe even thousands of applicants applying for just one role, or maybe a handful of roles. Now, I've been talking to recruiters and hiring managers of different companies, and I've been doing research into that candidate selection process. How do companies sort through CVs and choose who they're going to shortlist for interviews? What most companies will be using nowadays, especially for those really competitive jobs, is what they call applicant tracking systems. Applicant tracking systems are essentially computer software systems that will automatically scan every job application received, and what they do is match candidates as to how suitable they are for the job vacancy being advertised. So what this means is the first obstacle of the job application process isn't getting your CV in front of a person, it's getting it through a robot. How these applicant tracking systems work is that they scan your CVs, they scan your cover letters, they scan all the information that you've inputted on that online application form, and they look for keywords, and these keywords relate to the essential skills, experience, and qualities and qualifications on that job description for the role you're applying for. Say you're applying to an admin assistant role, that system is going to be scanning your CV in the work experience section for administrative assistant work experience. If that job description says you need to have studied law at university in order to be a suitable candidate for this role, that system's going to be looking for a law degree in your education section. And if that job description says we need people who are problem solvers, we need people who have good communication skills, you guessed it, the system's going to be looking for problem solving and communication keywords in your application. The system then tallies up all the keywords present in your application, and I kind of guess like a little bit like a dating app, tells that employer how suitable you are for that role. It gives you like a match rating, like a percentage based on the number of keywords that come up in your CV. So it's telling them how compatible you are for that job depending on the keywords in that job description. What this of course means is that if your CV, your resume, your online job application that you are submitting doesn't contain the keywords in that job description, it's likely you're not going to get picked. So the key to beating the online application system is this: tailor your online job application, your CV, your resume, your cover letter that you're submitting, tailor it every single time you apply for the job. Use the job description for that role as your Bible and highlight and extract all the keywords relating to the skills, the experience, and the qualification that that company is looking for, and pack it into your application. Now, you've got to make it easy for the computer here. These systems aren't people, so they're not the most sophisticated things in the world. So use that job description. You can literally use the same language using that job description so that it will be buzzing away on the system for those keyword matches. Stick to the common and simple structure for your CV. Use the general heading required. Check out my video on how to write the perfect CV and I'll tell you exactly what you need to do. Use bullet points and try and avoid using graphics and tables in your CV, because again, these systems sometimes aren't able to scan and identify them. The same goes for fonts. You don't want that system to be unable to read any sort of fancier fonts or different fonts that you've used. So just stick to the generic Arial, Times New Roman, Georgia. Just stick to a professional font that system's going to be able to identify and pick up on on easily. Check your spelling, okay? Not just because you don't want it to look as though you haven't taken the time to proofread and check your spelling and grammar for your CV, but if you spell a keyword incorrectly, the system's not going to pick up on it, and then your match rating's going to be dropped. Now, these applicant tracking systems can suck if you're applying for roles where you don't have all of the experience they're asking for. Maybe you're doing a career change, maybe you've got no experience in that role, but don't worry, people do get jobs with little or no experience. Again, it's just about knowing how to beat the system and play the game. You may be perfect for the job, but if you haven't got all of the experience, unfortunately, those applicant tracking systems aren't going to identify you as a perfect match because you're not going to have all of those keywords. So, how do you get around this problem? You've got to get in touch with a human being directly. Go the old-fashioned way. Make sure that your job application isn't just in the hands of a robot, and go straight to the human being and the hiring manager or someone in that company who can help you get your foot in the door with your application. So what you want to be doing is using LinkedIn. Like LinkedIn, if you haven't got this, if you are applying for jobs, you've got to get on this platform, because this is where you can connect directly with hiring managers, with recruiters for the role you're applying for. You can connect with people in the department of the company that you're applying to. Just ask them for advice here. Hey, I'm really interested in applying for this role. I'd really love some advice on how to make my application stand out from the crowd. Now notice, you're not going to be going to these people and saying like, yeah, so I really want this job, here's my CV, can you get it in front of the right person? Well, no, what you want to be doing here is asking for advice that's basically saying, how do I earn an interview with your company? Equally, if you know someone in the company that you're applying to, maybe ask them if they kindly mind providing an introduction to the hiring manager, or maybe they could even give you like a glowing report to the hiring manager and say, hey, I know this person really well, she's going to be applying for your job and she's really great. That again, that directness is just going to make you stand out from the crowd, and having that really positive review is already going to put you up here and in the running for being shortlisted for an interview. I did this for one job that I applied to and that I've been working happily and successfully in for many years. I actually ended up very luckily knowing someone in the department that I was applying for, and she told the person hiring, just look out for my friend who's applying for the job, I think she'd be really great for it. And this was the job where I'd done the formalities, I'd gone through with the formalities, I'd applied online, I'd done the online application form, I got the rejection, I got put in the bin. And it was only that my friend had told the person hiring, look out for my CV, that they took my application out the bin, liked it, invited me for an interview, and then must have ended up liking me because I ended up being offered the job. And that job, I actually probably had less experience than the other, I think there was 250 applicants applying for the role. So it just goes to show that that direct human contact and getting your foot in the door another way can really work. So don't just rely on these robot applicant tracking systems, especially if you really want the job. Just go for it. Be polite, be professional. What have you got to lose? So now you know the secrets of how those online job application systems work. Put all this advice into practice. Tailor your CV, make it really system friendly, pack all those keywords in there, and also try and make that human contact as well to get your foot in the door a different way and make yourself stand out from the crowd. Make sure that you also check out my other videos on interview skills, interview techniques. They include how to prepare for an interview, how to answer those really tricky common interview questions such as the tell me about yourself question, and best of luck with your job applications, guys. Just go the extra mile, put absolutely everything into it for those jobs you really want, and you'll be sure to get hired very soon. Thanks everyone, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Bloom for more content like this.